Welcome everyone. Today we have another new episodes and which will be really interesting because we have gender issues around the world. Even actually for my PhD, I done my PhD based on the glass ceiling factors. So today we bring two new guests, those who have a different experience as a working woman, and they will share the experience and challenges, and most important thing is that they have different creative solution in their mind, so they're going to share with us. So we have Dr. Shobha from India, as well as we have Valerie, so from USA. So hello everyone, how are you today?
Great.
Hello, Mr. Sharif.
Yes. Dr. Shobha, can you please introduce yourself, what you are doing, and like example, what's your professional background and your research and everything you can share with us?
Right now, I'm working as associate professor. I teach English literature. I've been teaching for the past 25 years to undergrads as well as postgrad students. And I did my research on poetry, comparative study between two poets. One a very famous poet of India, Jayanta Mahapatra, and the other a regional poet, Rajendra Bhandari. So, as a as a teacher and as a researcher also, I'm still learning, I should say. I'm still learning regarding literature, theory, and all of this. And well, that is my brief introduction about myself. I'm living my life, enjoying it.
Yeah, good.
Thank you, excellent. Valerie, can you please introduce yourself, what you are doing, and what the present condition in USA? Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to speak to the present situation in the USA. I'm not that authority. You can
Okay.
anyway.
Okay.
But I will tell you that I am a clinical social worker, and I'm currently working for an online mental health program called BetterHelp. And it's an amazing platform, and I'm able to do therapy with people all over the world if they can tolerate the time difference, if we can find something that works on the time difference, because that makes it kind of difficult. Prior to that, I graduated from University of Southern California with my MSW, that's Master's in Social Work, and I'm not a researcher. And I'm really honored to be with you two, especially you Dr. Sharma. Um,
Thank you.
so prior to working in BetterHelp, I had the largest domestic violence treatment program in California for 17 years. That was about 10 years ago. Now I live in Arizona.
Mhm. Mm. Thank you. Like both of you actually working professionals, and you have lot of experience from your personal life, from your professional life. You get different kind of experience. Especially working women, they have many challenges we are observing from our society, from our professions, and from our organizations. Can you share few of the challenges that working woman has? I think both in USA as well as in India or around the world. How? Because you are global people, you have a lot of integrations with the around the world. So how do you want to explain working woman challenges?
You want me to go first?
Yes, no problem.
Okay. Well, fortunately or unfortunately, I was raised at the time that women still were going into women-dominated fields. So I was a teacher first. I was a special education teacher first, and then I became a social worker. So I didn't really face much challenges because, I mean, that was easy for us to work in those professions. However, I see I have a client right now who actually is Indian descent, living in the United States, and she faces um, well, women now who are in top executive positions may be the only woman in the boardroom, and I don't think they're taken seriously when there's like when the whole table is full of older white men and she's the only woman of color and probably 20 years younger than them. I don't think that they take her seriously. However, she is definitely a force to be reckoned with. She is a tough cookie. She's amazing, and people can't deny her abilities. So she gets to get hired at really top quality companies. So I'm very impressed with how she's done it. I think most women are very lonely in the white male dominated, still white male dominated boardrooms. That's my experience.
Mhm. Thank you. Dr. Shobha, can you share with your experience? And specifically, we want to know more about the industrial challenge or academic challenge, what you have. Yeah.
Yeah, first of all, let me thank you, Mr. Sharif, for having me here. And it has been a pleasure meeting you and Valerie also. Yeah, thank you so much. And well, I would like to begin from the beginning in the sense that, regarding working women and all, as for me, in my case, what happened when my mother was a working woman. So it was there in the family that even the mom will go to work, and, it's not just the dad that he will go and earn and come. So we are brought up that way. Initially, when I was working, I was not married that time. So as an unmarried girl from my parents' place, going to work and coming was not of a challenge at all. I could just come and, throw my bag and throw my shoes here and there, and, if I want to lie down, I could have done that. And then later on, as I got married, of course, I should say that I'm lucky in a way that my husband also was brought up in that way that my I'll have a working wife kind. So he was very supportive. But still, what happens is, it's a fault. The fault lies in us women. We are constructed, as Simone de Beauvoir has said. We have been constructed in such a manner that we feel that we have to look after the house as meticulously as any stay-at-home mom type. Okay, so it was a kind of, initially, I should say, it was a kind of a challenge for me to be an efficient worker in the college, also rubbing shoulders with those men whose houses were well looked after by their wives, and then come home, and try to be the perfect mother, wife, whatsoever. Okay, I would and then I would hear from some colleagues, some female colleagues, that her child would not take eat his lunch in the school, whatever she had packed, because hurriedly she would just pack some stuff which she had brought from the market and put it. But other moms and all, they would make delicious stuff every day because they have the time. They are stay-at-home moms kind. And then, the child would always complain. Even the husband would complain. My colleagues used to share all this. Okay, so all of this is there. The fault somehow, somewhere, it lies in us. We try to have the best of both the worlds. We want to be efficient in the workplace. We don't want any male to be able to raise a question that, oh, well, this one is not doing her job properly. And then we come back home. Here also, we want to be the in charge of everything. All right, if my husband doesn't find his socks, I should know where it is. For example, both of us will be going in the morning in a hurriedly dressing up, and also that kind of pressure, we bring it on ourselves. I feel, the fault lies in us. Well, and then talking about the general scene, Mr. Sharif, I would like to share this. Um, Working women, initially, from the beginning itself, when people hire, when the people hire workers, when they post advertisement, preference is mostly given to males, mostly because it is believed that a male can take up all challenges. He'll be prepared to work hard at any time, day or night, and will be easier to deal with and all. And if a female is taken, she may have to be given easier jobs, especially in the corporate sector. All right. And she'll be, compared to other male colleagues, then she may leave her job when she gets married and go off with her husband, leaving her job, or may take leave during a pregnancy, childbirth. Okay,
Right.
and she'll have so many problems forcing her to take leave every now and then. That is the mindset that an employer will have while hiring a woman and vis-a-vis a man. Okay, so that man will be hired, so he'll not have any baggages. A woman is always considered to be, carrying a big baggage, and then coming. And every working woman has to deal with this issue and try to prove it wrong. Okay, well, of course, nowadays we see less of this kind of problem. But again, okay, I got a job. Then, as I said, I want to become the best in the workplace also. And then we have the aspect of harassment by the bosses. Well, sexual harassment is a, well, sexual harassment also, it's there for the males also, but predominantly on the females, isn't it? So even if a woman works hard day and night to reach that higher position, it will be presumed that she must have done some underhand stuff like keeping the boss happy, and hence she got that raise or that promotion. I'm talking in a general term, especially in the corporate sector. It is less in the academic circle. But in the academic circle also, let me tell you one thing, that well, even I have faced, to a lesser degree, but I faced a kind of a envious, atmosphere when I do something, when I come out with a book, when I have, launched, released a book or something like that, from my senior, uh, uh, not colleagues. My colleagues are very good, but senior professor somewhere, they will try to criticize me. They'll try to say that, well, this is not up to the mark and all that. Okay, so maybe, as I said, in general also it is there, and personally also, yes, I have felt it. It is there, 100%. It is there most of the time. Maybe, because we are in a developing country and we still have a long way to go. Well, that is my take on this.
Mhm. Yeah, yes, this is very good discussion. Beside that, I want to take some audience response. Sharita Sharma, she said, "Great to see the two of you." And another, she said, "Nice to witness the very much relevant topic of the day." Brenda, she said, "My fibs." So she send you loves and regards. Humaira Tanzila, she said, "Hello everyone, nice to see you all. It is a very valuable discussion. Thank you." So thank you
Right.
everyone. Thank you. They are watching you and they are observing you. So
Cool.
I have a question because I'm also a researcher for glass ceiling factors.
Yes.
Even I find that it's my observation, we are moving with artificial intelligence. We are moving with many technological advances, science and technological advancement. And Valeria, from one of the biggest country, most powerful country, USA has a
Yes.
very valuable science and technology, many progressive workers, many progressive people, highly intellectual people. They have a big Silicon Valley, big economy around the world, big healthcare system. Everything is big USA. My question is that in terms of glass ceiling issues and other things, like last elections, I saw that a woman candidate, even she is highly qualified, and Hillary Clinton, but she cannot win. Even in U.S. election history, we never see. Even they have many qualified people like Valeria, and many intellectually and politically and personality-wise and popularity-wise, many influential women in USA has. But why don't we see a woman president in USA?
That's a question I'd like to know the answer to.
Okay.
Um, I Well, I don't think Hillary was the best candidate.
Hmm.
Um, I think that I think a lot of people felt that she was ingenuous, not really. Uh, she didn't. She. I. I don't know. I think that what I expect from and what I expect from a female candidate is heart and I'm thinking. I'm having a hard time thinking of the word right now. But to be to really be sincere. And I don't know where Hillary was and what her sincerity was. Um, but she also had baggage. But she did win the popular vote, though. She didn't win, but she won the popular vote. So she did get the votes, but she didn't get the electoral college votes, and that's too much for me to even try to explain. So, because I don't understand it, and I don't know why we still have it or anything like that. I don't even trust that they actually vote for their uh, con- constituency. I'm not even sure that they vote the same way that their constituency wants.
Mhm,
So for me to answer that, I just think that's what I think, that Hillary had too much baggage and Obama had none.
mhm, mhm. No,
And
my question is
he was charismatic.
yes, yes. My
Yes.
major question is that, like example, why we cannot see a woman president in USA? Is there any possibilities in futures? What the issue? Is there any cultural issues? Is there any glass ceiling issues? What's the issues? Because US peoples, they are most progressive. They have Ivy League university research centers, working women. My major question is that I do not want to criticize or analysis on anyone. I want to know about the system. I want to know about the policy. I want to know more about cultures. If is there any possibilities that we can see women president in USA, like Germany, like New Zealand, even like Bangladesh, and even in COVID period, what we see that they are also performing very well, like Taiwan's, and I'm just want to know the inner strategy, inner cultures, or inner point of view about the USA.
I just think I think that our country is sexist, and I don't. I just don't. I think there will be a woman president if Biden wins and then he dies. I think by default, maybe.
Okay, okay, okay.
Um, anything in the future. I mean, I suppose with Kamala Harris, if
Mhm,
Biden would win, if Kamala Harris had the position of vice president, then we're definitely getting closer. But I think the United States, well, we come from a religious background.
mhm, mhm, mhm,
And who does religion hold highly? Women? Not really.
mhm,
Judeo-Christian Judeo-Christian base is males number one.
mhm.
Do you know that in Orthodox Jews they still say a horrible prayer every morning? Thank God I wasn't born a female.
Oh, I don't know. Yes.
I'm sorry, maybe I'm telling too much.
Mhm, mhm. Okay, okay. No, no, this is the part of the intellectual discussion, right? We have to know different cultures. We have to know different point of view. That is the objective. Even World Talent Economic Forums, we want to. Even example, when I do my research, this is also one of my questions in my mind. So as you are from USA and today the right topic, exactly the right people from the right place. That's why I'm asking you a question. Yes, if you can want to share, you can. Other than that, we can discuss. Okay, Dr. Sova, my question is that how do you want to think about this woman leadership things? How do you think that other countries, even recently, we find that is the reality that women leaders, they are playing very well in COVID situation. I do not want to compare, but I want to
Yes.
say that they are playing very, very well. If you focus on New Zealand, if you focus on Germany, if you focus on Taiwan, Austria, so so what do you think about women leadership? What do you think that we should give them more empowerments? What we need to do? What the cultural things we need to change? Yeah.
Well, if given a chance, a woman has always proved to be the best. Given a
Mhm,
chance. Many a times, well, they are not given. As I said, there are so many things that hold them back. Whether it is their own baggages or whether it is the society that has imposed certain things on them. So as we see now, as you were saying, in COVID situations also, the places where women are leaders, they have been dealing with this in a much better way than where there are male leaders. Okay, so politically speaking also, when we see a politician, I always, at least my own personal view is that a politician needs to have that that human touch. Okay, which if I say that, not I won't say that all men are like that, but many a times it's a woman who has that human touch. A politician, a leader needs to have that touch with the grassroots, they say, and it's a woman who can really do that. Many a times, I'll not generalize and say that all women are like this or all men are like that, but then, well, it is, yes, women given a chance, they do the best, as I said, right from a small in an institute or in a corporate sector. Just make them the leader. They are more organized. Okay,
Mhm.
they are more organized, and they have a way of dealing with things. Let me give a personal example. I'm not saying that when we had we had a male boss, it was bad, but then when I saw, when we had our principal, lady principal in the college, we found that it was, you know uh, things were more organized, whether we call a meeting, or it is not like not that haphazard. All right, and more approachable. Women are more approachable. It is more easy to approach a woman. So when you have a boss as a woman, or as a leader of your country as a woman, I feel that it is, for us, it will be easier to approach them. And then, well, they are more organized, they work hard. And yes, one thing I want to add: the glass ceiling. When a woman reaches that particular position, she will definitely want to hold on to it and give her best, because very few reach that. As a woman, I can say that, isn't it? So she will give her best, because she has been given this opportunity, which was not been given to so many. Okay, so even to give her best, to prove herself also. All right,
Yes.
so that is there. Maybe that is why women leaders are more successful, especially in times like this, difficult times like this. That's my take.
Mhm. Mhm. Valerie, what you want to share about this point of views? Especially, I want to know more about the corporate cultures in USA. I want to know more about the academic cultures, how actually women get access. I want to see more CEO from women in USA corporations. But I'm sorry to say, USA still, I think, they can focus on that particular points. As you are from the psychological perspective and others perspective, how do you want to explain these things? What the
Okay.
challenges, or yeah.
I'm not sure that I understand the question, and then the part that I did for sure understand, I'm not even sure. I'm not really. I don't really go in those circles. I'm not in academics, and I'm not in corporate. I was the boss in my company, but
Mhm.
my partner was a male,
Mhm.
and it was a small company. I mean, it was a very, it was an agency. We did domestic violence treatment and substance abuse treatment. So it was a very small agency. And actually, Dennis, that was my business partner, it was his idea to start. And he selected me because he trusted me and he knew I
Mhm.
was smart. And he put me as the president because of for tax benefits more than anything else. Otherwise, he would have put himself. That's
Mhm.
what I believe.
Mhm. Yes.
Corporates, I can't really tell you about corporates. I don't really go in those circles. Um, but I think the commonality is that women um, are selected less than men for positions. Women have to work harder than men to keep those positions.
Mhm.
Women have to work harder to prove themselves in any
Yes,
position. And
yes,
women have the lion's share of all the work at home. They work outside and then they work at home, and the men work outside for the most part. There are more men in this country now assisting in the house. But in my culture, oh no, it was just dads on the weekend. It wasn't dads, changing my diapers every day, preparing meals every day. None of that. It was mom,
Mhm.
but my mom didn't work outside, so she was in that age category too. That one income was enough to support a family rather well. Especially my dad was a professional; he was a dentist, so he was able to support us. And then we don't have giant families. Anyway, let me stop before you stop me.
No, 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 no. You just continue. I love to listen. Yes.
You're great. I don't now. I stop myself. I don't even know where to go. So, um, it's
Okay.
it's. Oh, just like it was okay for Donald Trump to say that he just grabs women by their private parts.
Hmm.
That's, I mean, he's the epitome of chauvinism.
Hmm.
I mean, he's the top cat, and look who's leading our country. And now all the problems between uh, the the races, but also socioeconomic and educational levels are very different. That our country is very divided and having all kinds of division. That was well, I don't know if that was created. I don't think that was created by Donald Trump. I think that's been coming for a long time because the working poor in the middle uh, have been neglected.
Hmm.
It's the rich get everything, and the very poor get welfare. But the people in the middle, they just suffer in silence.
Hmm. Yes, thank you. I want to take some audience response. Mohammad Shohelana, he said, "Welcome to today's excellent discussion." Geeta Sharma, very aptly said, Dr. Shobha Sharma. Anika Shams, I think she has question. Good evening, everyone. Women are good at some particular profession. What is your guideline about that? Thank you. So another questions, I think, anyway, Brenda, I think she gives some comments. I think women need support from males and other women. They are multifaceted and have the acumen and the natural ability to bringing people together in the short to lead. We need diversity to progress. I think this is very important for today's discussion. Noor Fazrin, she said, it is helpful session for the women who are managing their home and family. Thanks a lot. Okay, so Dr. Shoha, what do you want to say
Yes.
about, yes.
Yeah, the first question that women are good in only certain professions. Well, that is a big, mistake that we'll be making if we say that women are equally good. That's what has been proved, isn't it? That they are equally good as leaders, they are equally good as scientists, as doctors, surgeons, politicians, academicians, everything. We should not confine ourselves by saying that that is what is wrong. Even in India, that is what I see in especially this upper middle class families. Um, that when a boy decides to get married, he'll want, because of the high cost of living and all, he'll want to marry a girl who is working, all right, so she also earns, okay, because that it will help them to lead a luxurious life, buy a nice car, buy a nice house and all that. Well, that is there. But as Valerie just now you say that your father used to assist. I mean, I totally, I dislike the term assisting. Is it my house only that, is it my work that you are helping? It is our house. It is our work, isn't it? That's what one day I had gone to a friend's place and the father was like very, he was being very, I don't know, generous. He tells the son, go and help your mother in the kitchen. Then I took strong objection to this. I said, what help? I mean, if she's cooking, she's not cooking for herself only, isn't it? If she's doing the dishes, it's not for herself only, she's doing for the whole house. So what you do will be for the whole house, isn't it? And so coming back to the question, well, that in our middle class society in India, especially, because I have not seen much of the outside world, I've just heard and read. So in India, especially, as I said, the middle class concept is like now the men have also started helping the women in domestic chores, the household work and all that. What does that mean? The men have to come out of this helping concept. They are also doing their work. The woman also, because she is going out, to work like him. They go out together, and when they come back, the husband may take up a newspaper and read, or take out his phone and start looking Facebook, whatever social media, and the wife will, hurriedly clean and then maybe go to the kitchen to, make tea, or whatever is there. Or okay, fine, let us presume that she has a domestic help who is the cook is there to cook, but still the wife will be like, what will be cooked for dinner today? And she will be supervising, or if guests, especially if we are expecting guests and all, and the wife is going to be, she'll be planning all of that and then talk with the cook. So multitasking a woman has to do, especially. So, but I feel that that we should not contain ourselves. We should not limit ourselves to saying that only this kind of profession has to be done, can be done by a woman. Like teacher, it is to be the easiest job for to a woman to do. It should be earning also. She have ample time to look after her house also and her children also, because it's easy. That's why women should, try mostly for the job of a teacher. That's what I've understood. That's what I've felt. All right. So let's not limit ourselves to certain professions only. We can do the best in anything we are given, if we are given a chance.
Thank you.
And what was
Valerie,
the other question, Mr. Sharif?
yes,
Sorry.
like, can you please check your internet connection, because some of your discussion, at least I cannot hear clearly. I will come back to you. And Valerie, can you just give some sort of opinion that what actually Dr. Shobha come up with the opinions and other things regarding the household work, regarding the professional activities and other things?
I agree with her that that's more men are involved now, but I would say they were probably in the middle class or upper middle class. I don't think that I don't know what's going on in middle America. I don't know. I just know the very bright guys in California, the husbands, they were definitely participating, and I'm making a generalization based on a couple. I mean, they really don't help all that much, but they help more. It's still, for example, I was telling you about that the woman that's one of my clients from Indian descent. She says she works her butt off on her new job as a marketing maven. I don't know if you're familiar with the word maven. It's a Yiddish word that means an expert, really. So she's a marketing expert, and she talks about spending the rest of the time at home cooking, making tea, cleaning. I don't know what her husband's doing. He's also Indian descent. I don't think I don't know what he's doing. So it's still women's work, and then there's prejudice against women in workforce because they're hormonal. They'll get emotional. Oh my gosh, emotions! We can't have any emotions. And if a woman is successful, if a woman is assertive, she's called a B. You know what that stands for, right? It rhymes with ditch. But if a man is assertive, he's a great guy. He's assertive. He's aggressive, and he's going after what he wants. So it's just the way still of seeing women. It's really, it's just unfair, and it's prejudiced.
Yes, thank you. Dr. Shobha, I want to take your opinion based on this question. Dr. Sharita, she asked you a question, how do you see an end to this, like in the present situations, for working women, than the present environment and the present challenging situations, how do you want to see that it will be end, and what your observation?
Yeah. So just like I said, Simone de Beauvoir has said that women are not born; they are made, unquote. So have the men been constructed, as Valerie just now said that. Well, men are supposed to be masculine, assertive, more aggressive and all, and they are supposed to. And it has been since generations that they will go out hunt for food, and the woman is the weaker sex, so she'll look after the house, which is an easy task. All right, so it was we were brought up like that. Look at the color coding. Even after a child is, right from the child is born, the blue color is yeah, symbolic of a male child being born, and pink for the female. So we are constructing them from the time they are born, and then we will be constructing them in such a manner that you are a man, you should be like this. You are a girl, you are a boy, you should be like this. You are a girl, you should be behave like this. Okay, you're supposed to be emotional, sentimental, soft, feminine. All right. So the end to this is, I feel, that women are being empowered. We have government schemes. We have where education is prioritized, education of a woman is prioritized, and we have NGOs working for the empowerment of a woman. Similarly, I feel men have to be empowered regarding domesticity. Why is it that if a son is going astray, the parents feel that let him get married, okay, then he will be
Oh
brought
my
back to his senses. Yeah. So I mean, they have to be taught from beginning, from the time they are child. They have to be taught not to be dependent on for household things on some other woman, that a woman will come and look after you. Now I'm with my mother. My mother is there. My mother is looking after me, the son thinks. So afterwards the wife is going to play the role of the mother. She'll be feeding him, and it is said the man's heart, to the man's heart is through his belly or something like that, which I totally oppose. I disagree with that. If you have a belly that if you have a heart that goes through your belly, feed it. You do whatever you can to your belly, isn't it? Yeah. So they have been constructed in such a way that you will be looked after by your wife, your house will be looked after by someone. So let us empower the men now. High time. That will bring an end to all this. Let's empower them, make them independent, that they can also look after the house as any woman can. That is my take. I feel we should empower the men now, vis-a-vis the women being empowered, to go work outside and come back home to a home. Then only the real equal society we can talk of. Yes, this society now finally we are living in a society where there is equality of sexes, no prejudice, no bias. That's what I feel.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to take more questions from the audience.
Yeah, please.
Sharita Sharma, she said that empower women. So women empowerment, you can discuss on that particular point. There is more questions. Divya Sharma, women are very perfect in comparison to men in every aspect. Only they need support, training, encourage, etc. Instead of pressures or domination. What is your opinion? Valerie, what do you want to say about that?
Okay, so can you just repeat it so I really get it? I'm not sure that I
Okay,
really got the
okay.
question.
Like example, Divya Sharma, she want to say that uh, actually, like women need proper support, training,
Right.
and encourage, and we do not create some pressures, dominations, and these kind of things. So, what is your opinion on that particular point? How we can give more support, more training, more encouragement to the women?
Mm, I I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm thinking that I I'm just thinking that more money is given to men, like sports. I mean, if a woman athlete doesn't get the same kind of money that a male athlete or even to go to the universities on scholarships. Um, Women athletes don't get what men get. Women teams in the United States don't get what men's teams get. It's just it's disparate. It's just not equal. We don't get paid the same. Oh, so that's the problem. So how to fix the problem? I'm not sure. I think a lot of it has to do with culture. And how are you going to fix it? How are you going to fix a culture? Um, I'm just thinking of my grandparents came from Eastern Europe, and my grandfather gave up Judaism because every year his mother was having another baby and taking care of a ton of children, and his father was in the temple studying the Torah. So what did the father do? He studied the Torah. He was an intellectual. He was a religious guy. The mother was at home doing everything, and my grandfather said, "I'm not supporting that religion that supports that kind of division." So pretty much in our family, the religion was dropped, and it just became we just became secular Jews, which means that we don't follow anything. It's just the cultural things, but nothing religious, because that my grandfather said that. So it's really stuck in the cultures, I think.
Mhm.
And I don't know how to change culture.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay, this is very good idea about the cultures. So, what do you want to say about culture, Dr. Sobha? Like she said, it's quite difficult. We cannot change the culture. So, what's your opinion on that particular point? Even I have one point in my mind because, example, even recently we are saying that we are adapting with the international cultures. We are changing in the different way. We are adapting technology. We are adapting science, and we are engaged with the global arena. But still, Valerie said that even she's said from USA that we cannot change culture. So, what's your opinion on that particular point?
Yes, well, culture is there since when? In all of this culture that we are seeing, since when it has been there, it is now seeped in our blood to a great extent. And as you said, and as Valerie said, well, it is difficult to change culture, but having said that, things are changing definitely. Things are
Yes.
changing, and the perspectives are broadening. Now we are talking at a wider arena. Now, culture is not limited to a particular region. It is going out, and things are changing. Like when we, as I said, with respect to this male woman man woman relationship also, things are taking a great turn. Okay, things have taken a great turn compared to what was there a few generations back, even what our parents must have experienced, or my grandparents must have experienced. So culture is also getting tainted with the latest development. Okay, and yes, like these only things will change. We cannot hope for a change overnight, that things will
Mm.
change like this. Yeah. So slowly, gradually, things will change, but unless and until we try to change it, then it is there. As I said, it is sipped in our blood. Like I said about the color coding. Even now, I will also, maybe I'm giving an example. If a colleague, if a child is born, then I'll ask, is it a boy or a girl? Girl. Oh, I'll buy some dolls, or I'll buy pink freely dress and all that, and go to visit her. So things need to change. All right. And maybe this globalization also is going to have the great impact, and it is having, well, to changes that we are seeing now. And come to that the question of women education also. Some 20, 30 years back, how many women were educated? Forget about being literate. How many of them did post graduation? How many of them went for research? How many of them were working? All right, and look at the scenario now. So definitely things are changing. That's what I feel,
Mhm.
Mr. Sharif.
Mhm. Thank you. There are more questions from audience. I want to take audience question because
Yes,
our
please.
session based on more audience
Yeah.
involvement. So now Hosne Arafat, though, she said that I think today's discussion will be very helpful for women empowerment. And she asked question, what is the impact of pandemic like COVID-19 and the lockdown on working women? Like in the present situations, what's happening for the working woman? She want to know that. Divya D. Sharma, she said, well said, Dr. Sobha. And Shahinul Islam, she said, it's a nice discussion. How can I evaluate the status of women based on the, I think it will be 17, based on the 17 UN principles. And Sharita Sharma, she is actually motivating you and she is actually observing all of your discussions. Okay, I want to directly ask question to Shobha Sharma about the working woman in present COVID-19 situation. What do you want to say it? And second thing about
Yeah.
UN 17 goal.
Okay. Uh, well, regarding the first question, second question, I don't think I'll be able to say much on it.
No,
But the first question is the condition of women during working women during this pandemic. Well, many people, not just women but men, they have lost their jobs. Okay, so many people have been fired. All right, because well, things the economy has taken a twist. All right, and we are having problems, especially in India also, and more so I feel that the in the corporate sectors they have taken it has given them a good excuse to even fire. That's what I've come to understand, that to fire the female workers more. Okay, now working women and pandemic has been a subject of serious discussion because for a person like me who can work from the house, or for workers who can really make it from their house, well, to some extent they have been able to do it. To some extent, I am saying, but the onus, but the pressure is more, because when you are working from the house, it is a more kind of catch 22 situation that we are in, because there again the pressure of maintaining the home. Okay, because you are working from the house, and then the workplace, at least when you go out of the house you are out, you are out. But here, because you are home, you are expected to be certain perfect certain things. And then, well, the working women also have a major problem in this sector, because like if in India we have the concept of having domestic helps in the house, we keep domestic helps to do cooking and all this cleaning and all, and because of the lockdown these helps also could not come. Hence
Right.
the pressure was more on the woman, all right, to work, to do the household chores, as well as to look on the after the work, to be perfect. All right, and so yes, the onus, the pressure has been more on the women. And as I said on that firing stuff, yes, the women have been, most women have been jobless. And yes, when getting this chance, I would like to talk about the abuses that has also been increased. Just yesterday, I was reading a paper written by a social worker, where she says that sexual abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse, well, which the women at least they escaped when they went out to work, or they had an outlet, they could talk about it, they could share their woes, their trauma, all right, or at least they could forget for some time. That also has not been, from the psychological point of view, that also has not been, the women have not been able to do that, also confined inside the house, having to prove in the workplace, as well as looking after the house and hearth.
Mhm.
Okay. Yes.
Yes. Yes, Valerie, what you want to say about this COVID situations and about the working woman conditions, and what you want to say about this women empowerments and these things?
With COVID, I think it's the same situation in the United States as it is in India, as far as women being at home. So there are statistics I've heard on increase of child abuse and domestic violence as well, um, because everybody's home. So the abuser's home. Well, okay, so that's obvious. Um, I luckily love my work at home, and I don't have a family, so it's just me, and so there's no expectations from anybody, just me. So I'm in a whole different world from you
Nice.
and many other women. So I don't have that pressure to clean my house. I mean, I won't show you my house right now because it might not be acceptable. But no, just kidding. It won't be to your standards. Just kidding. Anyway, empowering women. Women have to. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. What I wanted to say was the more rights and power women have gotten, the more threatened men have become and
Yes.
afraid that they were losing their power and control over the situations. So instead of welcoming the freedom to, well, to express themselves, because men have always had such a tight thing around their necks about not looking feminine, not crying, not expressing their feelings, not showing their tenderness. So they've always had this, like, very tight belt around their neck since childhood. So when things actually start opening up and allowing men to be more emotional and more sensitive and more, they felt that they lost their position, that they didn't have a position to be the the care. I mean, the help me, Dr. Shobha. You know what I'm talking about. That they lost their
Yes.
uh,
Yes.
chivalry. They
Space.
weren't considered to be important as
Yes.
protectors anymore. Women could open the
Yes.
doors for themselves. So
Themselves.
we need support from men.
Mhm. Mhm. Yes, thank you, thank you. Beside that, both of you are actually working women, so I want to know that what the solution you have, how you want to solve these challenging situations, what the unique idea you have that we can implement these things that automatically we can change cultures, or we can change environment and the situations. Do you have any unique solutions in your mind, Dr. Sobha?
Yeah. Uh, as I said, we have to begin from the beginning. And I feel the son of a working mother is definitely going to be, more understanding of his wife's condition later on as he grows up and gets married and gets a working wife. So, the children of a working mother are definitely less fussy. I feel they are more independent also. They are not going to run, they don't have a mom to run to for every small problem of theirs. They'll learn to fend for themselves. Okay. And they will also learn, yeah, as I say, they will be forced to or learn. Let's talk of sons especially, not okay, son and daughter, whatever. So they will learn to do the works also. They will be, as I said, independent, and they'll be, especially the male, the son will be more, more empowered to do things by his own. He will not be dependent. He will see in the house also. My mom used to go out to work, and I mean, he'll be so used to, conditioned. He'll be also constructed in that manner. Okay, that's why I feel that it's very important. But to achieve that, to become empowered, to go out to work, education has to be there, isn't it? First of all, the girl, the lady, the female has to be well educated to take on the world. Okay, so provision has to be made. She has to be given the opportunity. And well, education does not only mean getting reading books and getting educated, but also getting a degree and a qualification. That's what the norm is, isn't it? And then go out to work, and then only the things are going to change that way. So I feel that we begin from the beginning, we empower our children. Okay, and let them grow up without thinking that if I get a wife, she'll look after whether my shirt has been ironed or not, or my trousers have been sent to have been laundered or not, or whatever. Okay, so let us bring up this kind of generation, at least that we have it in our hand. So I feel that the men, the child, the small, from the time he is born, okay, let him see that kind of environment in the house. where it is not said that it is the mom's kitchen, you have to go help mom with the dishes or with cooking and all. No, it is everybody, my our kitchen. So let us work together, not help. That help word I don't approve somehow. Okay,
Mhm.
so yes, that is my
Mhm.
take.
Yes, Valerie, what you want to share?
Okay, so I agree with Dr. Soba about that. That there needs to be equality in the homes where everybody participates, not just the boys are watching TV or
Yes.
on their iPads and iPhones, and the girls are the only ones who do the dishes or clean the house. Um, I've seen that many times in the United States where the boys do nothing and the girls do everything.
Yes.
And then the mothers have to actually get on board too and not treat their children differently, because mothers mothers have the biggest influence on the children. And if she's gonna, treat her son like he's a prince and treat the daughter like she's a servant, well, that's not going to work. That's just not going to work. But I think a simple solution in the United States is to start paying women what they deserve, regardless of what sex they are. That everybody gets paid equally for the same job. And it's not
Mhm.
that way. It's still considered we have to pay a man more because he has, mouths at home to feed, and they think that a woman doesn't. I mean, I don't get that. The women have to feed, and single women. There are plenty of single women.
Mhm.
Why should I get paid less from my coworker who's a male and we have the same degree and the same experience?
Mhm. No, this is very important, that economical aspects. And when the salaries and these issues comes, we find around the world definitely there are some mismatch. There are something that always women get less paid from male. This is very important aspects. I want to take more audience response. MG Edu, he said, Dr. Sova, is the pandemic even more taxing for the working woman? Mohammad Shoaib Rana, he said, the more women are empowered in the workplace, the more I think their problem will be reduced in the workplace. What is your opinions? Dilli Raj, he said, good. Araf Mehwaz, he said the role of women in leadership position in universities. How much role can they play in the women empowerment? So, Dr. Soba, what you want to say about these questions? Yeah.
Yeah, well, working women are having a tough time during this pandemic, which we discussed a little earlier. And regarding leadership and having better position in the universities and all, of course, yes. When a woman is a leader, as I said, it is in a way more, well, more organized to be precise. And then one thing is very important regarding this is the fact that as we found whenever in the workplace, especially, let me now confine to the academic circle is a place where it is said that the prejudice is less between towards women, but when you are working in tandem, or when we are you are working as a woman, I'm saying, under some male boss in the academic circle, maybe let's say a professor, okay, you are working on his idea, okay, and you are just helping him, for example, bringing out a book and things like that, then all is well, you are helping him. So but the moment you try to do something independently, the moment you try to assert yourself, the moment you try to come out with something different, then it is met with more criticism, okay, because because it is thought that, okay, this one is trying to be better than me, this one is trying to be more, maybe she's trying to say that she knows more than me, I'm more experienced, I know more, I've read more, she is just a woman, okay, maybe she can teach well, but regarding this, well, it is a male domain, we are, it is here that, well, I am the professor, okay, I have more knowledge, more experience. So when it comes to a woman, all right, many a times, I'll not say always, at least the women are more accommodating. They will take in more new ideas. Okay, they will help. They will want to bring up another woman scholar or another woman teacher. They'll try to pull up, say, bring them out from their shell. Okay, and try to, it will be less envious, I feel, as I have seen. But again, I say, I don't generalize. There may be women who are, they may make worse leaders than men, but I don't generalize. But say, in many respects, I feel that women are more accommodating, all right, and they are more accepting. Then they are less threatened by the presence of another male, because they have really worked to reach that top. They have really labored to reach that top, so they are not, they don't feel so threatened like any other male in that same position. Male, I feel, many male, I don't say all, many male men, they feel threatened by a rising woman. That they feel insecure. And well, let me say this one thing, and that insecurity is there even in the house. Many a times I have heard many of my colleagues say that because they earn more than their husband, okay, the husband is insecure, in the
Right.
sense that he is, he feels so threatened, and so he will not want to help her with any of the stuff at home, because he's feeling it. And then it is not just the men, the society also, his friend circle also, in his friend circle, his friends also might mock him and say that, you don't have to work, you have a wife who earns so much.
Yeah.
These things, they taunt, and that male chauvinism, maybe the male ego gets hurt. All right, so this insecurity is there in the workplace as well as at home, wherever the woman is tries or is better than the men.
Thank you. There is another question I want to take from audience. Abayaz Mustain. He said, "Do you think technology will make women more productive and provide them safety in the workplace?" Valerie, what you want to say?
Okay, so the last part of the sentence was safety. Was that the word?
Safety in the workplace, yes.
I think that's probably true. I think it's probably true that with technology, more women will be in the workplace. Yes, I mean there are women who are their cultural. Okay, I don't want to. There are certain. Yes, the answer is yes. That's all I'm gonna say.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Thank you. So I think there are more comments and other things coming, but beside that, we have to wrap up the session. So, what the concluding remarks you want to give, Valerie? What the concluding remarks about today's sessions? What you want to add today?
Um, I just want to thank you all for inviting me on. It's a pleasure to meet you, and it's a pleasure to be heard by your audience. That blows my mind. Um, yeah, I I I think we should keep supporting women, women empowerment. I encourage men out there to encourage their women and their daughters, and also get real about how their daughters and their sons are equally valuable, not not males being more valuable than females. Um, and I hope for the best.
Mhm. Thank you. Dr. Shobha, what are the concluding remarks you want to give for today's sessions? And you come up with a very interesting idea about the working women they facing from their family, they face from their working organizations. They also have a lot of challenges even in their society. Culture is a big issue, but beside that, we also discuss about the solutions. Like example, we can give them more empowerments. We can give them more educations, we can support them, we can train them. Even technology can play a very good roles for women safety and security. So most important thing is that we find another issue, that culture is a big problems and big challenging issues. But hopefully by this kind of awareness discussions, even we are also supporting UN 17 goals, and Asia Research and Development Academy, Al Noor Academies, even World Talent Economy Forums. We are working together and we are trying to find out the different solution for different problems. So today's sessions was very excellent, and it's really meaningful and really thoughtful. And beside that, I want a brief conclusion from your side. How do you want to give the summary? And most important thing, that we do more focus on solutions, more specific solution from you.
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much. It has been a pleasure listening to Valerie. Yeah, and Mr. Sharif, well, we should have another round of talk on religion, tradition, and women, I think. Tradition also,
Mhm.
it has really subjugated women because tradition is not very woman friendly. Culture and tradition, especially this part of the world, we have those very binding cultures and traditions. Now, coming to today's talk, well, and yes, and I thank the audience also for coming up with such lovely questions, which has enhanced the conversation. And as I feel that, well, I said that before also, we are doing great. Women are doing great. We are coming up. We are, empowering ourselves. We are, even the government also is trying its best. Non-government organizations are also helping to prioritize the education of women. There is, especially in India, we have free education till the graduate level and all. So, well, things are being done for the women. Uh, but awareness, men have to be made more aware. It has to be put, drilled into them that women are, they are different, but not unequal. Okay, we are equal, we are different, yes, biologically we are different, but not weak or whatever, to be subjugated, or oh, she's a woman or he's a man. So like the women are being empowered, I repeat, let us empower the men also. Empower the men in domesticity and empower the women outside the house. Inside the house, let's empower the men. Outside the house, let's empower the women. And then only we'll live in a truly equal society. Okay, otherwise this cannot be achieved simply by, it will be lopsided again. Just focusing, let's focus on the education of women, the how we the employment of women and all that, that is there, but also bring about an awareness in the male. And that has to be done from the beginning, right after a child is born. Let there be no discrimination in the family. As Valerie has said, let's not bring up daughters and sons in a different manner. And that the onus lies in the mother also. Most of the time I've seen it is the mothers that make this kind of discrimination. Oh, he's my son, he will look after me when I grow old. He'll be there. You daughter, you'll be getting married, you'll be going off where you'll be and all that. All right, so the onus lies on us women also, how we bring up our child. Okay, whether it's a daughter or a son. So let's bring them up equally. Equally means equally. So from the home it has to begin. Empower the girl. Okay, give her the weapon to face the world, and make the son also empowered in domestic circle within the house also, so that both will be equally empowered.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. It's really nice discussions. I want to take the audience response from Geeta Sharma. She said, "Great session, really nice listening to Dr. Shobha Sharma and Valerie." So it's really a nice discussion. Hopefully, in the futures World Talent Economy Forums, we're gonna invite you for more policy discussions, more group discussions, and by this way, we will solve this like gender inequality, and we will empower more women. And thank you for very good input today. Thank you for your
Thank
time
you
and
so much.
everything. Thank you, Valerie, and thank you, Dr.
Thank you,
Shobha.
Valerie.
Yes, thank you.
Bye.
Thank you,
Thanks
Mr.
so
Sharif.
much.
Okay, bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Bye.
Take care. Stay safe.
Stay safe.